Hey everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I am back with another endurance ride video. This time I'm taking Romeo for an 80-kilometer ride at Inglewood as a part of his Tom Quilty preparation. As you've just seen, the car's already packed, the float is hooked up, and now it's time to go down to the paddock to grab Romeo. So if you watched my last video, you'll know that this ride wasn't originally on the cards for Romeo. I was going to take him to Easter at Stirling's to do the 120 mini marathon, so this 80k ended up being a replacement ride. I was heading to this ride on my own and strapping for myself, which I wasn't too worried about since Inglewood's not very far away and Romeo is generally really good on his own. Plus for the fact that I wasn't going to be doing a fast 80 at all, just wanted to get through on a nice sound completion. As usual, I am giving Romeo a groom before we go. I actually ended up giving him a bath as well because he was really dusty, and here I am taking his temperature for his temp logbook, and here he is once he is bathed. I let him have a nibble and dry off, and he was looking super shiny. After about a 2-hour trip, we arrived at the ride base. I set Romeo's yard up before taking him out of the float, and then got him off, filled up his water, and let him settle in.
Entertainment. Ain't no love like a real love, but it goes so fast, all tied up like a captive.
After setting up my tent and the float, I took Romeo for a walk around the base just to stretch his legs and show him where a few things were. I then took him to vetting, which I don't have any videos of because I came alone, so I didn't have anyone to film my trot out for me. But Romeo did well. He was definitely unsettled because he couldn't see any other horses. It got quite dark at that point, but he was fine. I think his heart rate was maybe 46, which is probably a bit high, but I just put him back in his pen, rugged him up, gave him his dinner, and got into my tent and called it a night. Since the ride was starting quite late in the morning at 7:45, I had heaps of time to get everything ready, so I just gave Romeo his breakfast and then pulled out all of my tack and took Romeo on a walk to stretch his legs out.
The seasons come and go like thoughts of you. Like a wave returns to the sea, into the blue. They change, but in a cycle that I can't lose. Each painful but delightful to live through. You came into my life just like another season. Not for them, just a time, just like another season. You came into my life just like another season. Not for them, just a time, just like another season.
So once we were all tacked up and ready to go, we went over to the marshalling area, which is where we had a quick pre-ride talk before starting the ride. We were told the vetting was going to be vet gate into hold, which is very difficult to do when you have no strappers. So I got quite stressed and was thinking, oh my gosh, how am I going to do this? Knowing Romeo, his recovery rates are slower, meaning he takes more time to strap, but we were only given 15 minutes instead of the usual 30 to strap and present to the vets. So I had to make sure that we were taking it quite slow as we had already planned and just make sure I kept him happy, cool and comfortable in the heat of the day.
Come my way this season.
I get lost sometimes and I can't seem to find a light between the walls I built for myself right in my mind. And then you came over and you showed me love that I never had seen before. And now when I got you, it's all gonna be alright. Thinking about all the things we did tonight. What a time to be alive. Just you and
Romeo was pretty keen to go on the first leg, as he usually is, but because Inglewood is such a flat track, I had to make sure that we were pacing ourselves really well and not just racing around the course. There is some really deep sand and some really rocky parts on the track, so we had to be really careful of those. And I also had to make sure that I was changing my diagonals and Romeo's leads constantly and consistently to make sure we weren't fatiguing certain muscles.
to go out of my mind.
We finished the first leg in just under 3 hours and 45 minutes, which was a good time. Romeo took about 12 minutes to strap, which was cutting it a bit close. I didn't actually record the time that we came in, and I couldn't find my time slip, so I wasn't sure when I had to present to the vet, which was a bit stressful, so I just guessed. Thankfully we were in the time, but Romeo's heart rate was quite high and he got a B for gut sounds. He He did eat and drink on the first leg, but probably not as much as he should have. So for the second leg, I really wanted to make sure that we were going to improve our result. I wanted him to come in with a lower heart rate and make sure he got a better result for his gut sounds. After coming in off the first leg at a trot/canter, I decided for the second leg that we would come in at a walk just to make sure his heart rate would lower quicker, and it did. We had a much easier time strapping for the second leg. His heart rate was lower and he got all A's and 1s, which I was so happy about. He finished off really well and I was so proud of him. He was so well behaved on track, and the whole second leg he was eating and drinking and just being an absolute champion. And just like that, another endurance ride for the year is done and dusted. Romeo has another 80k completion under his belt and only one more ride before the infamous Quilty in July. I'm so happy with how he went over this weekend, and I have no doubt in my mind that he's going to be ready when TQ22 does come around. The plan for the next ride is to take Prince out for another 80k, hopefully his final 80k towards his open status, and then he will be qualified and ready to go if he's needed as a backup horse for the Quilty. If you guys enjoyed this video and would like to see more, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye!